Hi everyone, it's Niamh here and welcome to my art journaling channel. Today we're going to be looking at using some collage tissues and painting with gloss sprays, which is one of my favourite techniques. So this is the full collage sheet. It's a sheet from Natalie May Scrapbooking. You'll find the details in the description box below. And I'm doing a fussy cut of the image. So I have a real pet hate of collage tissues having halos around them when you glue them down, so I like to cut them out really fine. Now, one of the things was I was working in my craft journal and I had a bit of a thought that when I use gel medium to glue it down, obviously it's going to still retain some of that whiteness. So I thought if I use my tinted gel medium, so this is the Vintage Distress medium from Ranger, that might actually make it blend into the page a little bit better, and it did. It was very serendipitous when I did this. So you notice that I'm gluing it down. There's a slight tint to it. It's actually tinting it to the colour of craft, and it just made everything blend onto the page beautifully and make it look like it was drawn on the page to begin with. So if you are looking at gluing stuff down onto a craft page, I suggest having a tinted gel medium. Now, if you don't want to go out and buy tinted gel medium, I totally get that, but you can actually mix a little bit of acrylic paint, just a tiny little bit, into your clear acrylic paint and it will do the same job. So you know, a warm brown color mixed into your liking will help that really easily. So once I finish, I've just trimmed away my excess and I've got my image on the page. I wanted to add some additional colour to this, so I decided that I would use my gloss sprays to do that. Now, because I really like the tone that was there already because of the craft paper, I didn't actually need to add all that much to this. And often when you're starting painting figures like this, painting them on tonal papers makes it a little bit easier anyway, because you've got the warmth underneath the image to mix together. I'm starting off with some blushing gloss spray that has a pinkish tone to it, and just wiping it all over. And the fact that it's so transparent means that I'm not losing any detail from the collage tissue below, so you've got a really clear image of what's there and what you can add to it. So next I'm going in with some of the Sedona, which is again a sort of a warm reddish orangish colour, to blend in to give some of my highlights to my piece. I find often when I'm blending, using my finger helps a little bit to make sure everything's sort of mixed in just the way I like it. So I've got that, I don't have a harsh edge from my paintbrush. Then I'm adding in some darkness into her lips and onto her eyes as well. So you can keep working it over and over. It dries fairly quickly, but you can still move it with a little bit of a rub with your finger. When I've done that, I'm now going in with some of the new Ancient colour, which is a beautiful golden colour, and I want to use this as sort of a base for the hair. So again, just going in, wiping it over the page, basically where the hair was on the image. I'm also putting a little bit of gold onto the skin, just to act as a bit of a highlight and metallic sheen on the page. So it's a bit hard to see, you can sort of see the shine there, but when you tip it up, you just get this beautiful metallic look. I'm also going in and putting in some of the lapis as a bit of a shade to my face. So I quite often shade with blues. I find black can be quite overpowering, so quite often I will actually grab blues to do my shading. Personal preference, so you know, you do you, but I really like the look of it. It also contrasts really well with those warm sort of red tones. So I'm just going in and putting some detail onto the hair using the blue and adding in those extra shadows. One of the things I wanted to get, and one of the reasons I sort of picked up my gloss sprays to do this, was The original picture was kind of smudgy and smoky and almost drippy in nature, so I wanted to get that happening on this page too. So I actually decided I wanted to drip some of my gloss sprays down my page. So again, picking up my gloss sprays, putting it on quite heavily so I've got those drips and rivulets coming down. And you can also, you know, use the stem to actually paint the drips where you would like them to go, which is really, really handy. I've also tilted up my book so I've got those sort of natural runs going down the page too. So when I'm happy with that, then I can dry that off so it stays in place and it's not going to continue to run. It doesn't take very long for the gloss sprays to dry, especially not if you put a heat gun onto it, and you can get a really good image. I also love that this is sort of splattered everywhere. It really added to the image, that sort of splattery effect over the page. So it's something I quite often do to tie my pages together, and on this page sort of that blue against all the other colours really worked well. I just went in and overlaid a little bit more of the Sedona colour, so that darker red. And that's one of the great things about painting with the gloss sprays, is that you can layer up the colours really, really easily to get the effect that you really want. Finally, I'm going in with my Stabilo All pencil and drawing in the extra detail. And again, working with the tissue papers, because everything I've put on here is translucent, I can still see the lines from the tissue paper, so it gives me something really easy to draw over the top of to get that sketchy effect over the top. And I just really like how that pencil sits on top of all the paint that I've got on the page. While I was doing this, I decided I want to put a quote on the page, and I found that that block of hair was the perfect place to pop a quote. So I'm just using a white Posca paint pen, nice long thin letters, and writing in my quote, which is a bit hard to see because of the shine from that metallic gloss spray in the background. But basically it says she is a masterpiece, something she is an artist, she is a masterpiece. So once I finished with my quote, I'm not sure if I put no, I didn't, because it was up against something quite dark. So you can see here how it sort of stands out together. You can see the layers of gloss spray, how they sit together, and how those drips and so on add to the whole piece. She is a mess, but she is a masterpiece, that's it. So it sort of worked well with the drips and the splodges over it. So I hope you have a go at trying using some gloss sprays to paint with over some collage tissue. It's a really fun way to build your colour. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye for now.